Hi everyone, welcome back. It's so great that you're here with me. I'm outside, as always, having a walk before I go back to my studio to paint. But let me tell you about the creation that I'm showing today. I'm using a gorgeous lilac and some surprise colours. So if you want to see what I create, and I can't wait to show you something that I've not done before, you won't want to miss this one. Anyway, it's so great that you're here with me. I appreciate each and every one of you. Let's see what we can create. Okay, so here we go. Here's the colour palette. I'm using a Prussian blue, a gold. I'm also using the pearl purple by Arteza. I've got a metallic green by Amsterdam and also a lilac by Amsterdam. So I'm using 3 different brands today, Amsterdam, Arteza and De La Rowney, and I've mixed all of my paints with water. So this is just a paint and water combination. I'm using a Prussian blue for the base. I'm going to cover my base first, and I just love this colour by De La Rowney. It is probably one of my most favourites. So as you can see, it just trickles off the spatula, and that's the same for all of these paints. They just trickle off, there's a good flow, there's good consistency, and no additives, no pouring medium, just water. So they're my paints, they're my consistencies. I'm excited to use this colour palette, and my canvas is on its stand ready to go. So let's start off by adding the Prussian blue to the base and blowing this paint out across the canvas to fully cover the base itself. Okay, so I've got the Prussian blue on the canvas as my base coat. I'm using the pearl purple by Arteza first, and then the lilac, that one's by Amsterdam, and I'm just puddling these on top of the Prussian blue that's on my canvas. This is the metallic green by Amsterdam, a gorgeous colour, one of my favourites, one of my most favourite greens at the moment. A little bit more lilac, and then I'll add a little bit more of the pearl purple on the other side, just here. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to use my blow dryer, and I'm going to blow the paints across the canvas, but I'm going to also add a little bit of the gold. So let me add a little bit of that gold on top of those 2 puddles where they meet. And then I'm going to take my torch and I'm going to pop the air bubbles before we continue with the process. That's just to pop those air bubbles before we continue. And I'm also adding a little bit more of the base coat just to add to that flow. So when I blow the paint out across that surface area, the hairdryer will go this way and then that way, and the paint should flow more easily. So let's go. The hairdryer itself is on a cool setting and the lowest blow speed. I'm going to continue blowing out the paint to a composition that I'm happy with and a balance of the pattern and the negative space, and then we continue and go in and show you those details. Okay, so let's go in for a closer look at the wet version. I've got that balance between the negative space, so that Prussian blue on the base, and then those colours that we've blown out over the top. And you'll see that there's some cell reaction. That's because I've used different brands of paint, different densities, and that's what's created those cells. I can't wait for this to dry because I know Prussian blue dries a lot darker than when it's wet. So I suspect the base will probably look quite black, a very, very dark blue. But I think that's going to really help with the popping of the lilac and the purple along with that metallic green. So I'm going to set this to one side. I'm going to let this dry. It will take probably a day, maybe 2 days to dry to touch, but a good couple, maybe 3 weeks in total to fully cure before I add a layer of varnish on top to seal the painting. And people always ask me what varnish I use. I always use a spray varnish, and that just gives me good coverage. So here we go. Here's the dry version, and as expected, that Prussian blue has dried a lot darker. That purple's dried darker too, but I just love the effect these paints and this palette have had on this piece. And it really intrigues me because I really love that lilac and that purple along with that gold and that green. It's a win-win for me, guys. I really love this, and I think I'd love to experiment more with this colour palette. I really hope you've had fun with this one. I know I have. A big thank you to each and every one of you for your support. Unending support and love for me each week. It really is appreciated. I really do hope I get to see you again in the next video. See you soon. Bye.